problem with killing.
I don't have a problem with killing. I like a little killing now and then. What's wrong with that?
Killing is an addiction like any other drug. But we're parents now. We have to set a good example. Oh, let's quit, Chucky. Right now. Cold turkey.
You have got to be kidding.
Promise me, Chucky. No more killing.
No,
Chucky.
No
More killing. We can't do it anymore. We have a future to think of. We have a child.
Fine. All right already. I promise.
Thank you, though, baby. You're a sweetheart.
So I'm back again with another tutorial, and today we're going to be playing with, drumroll please, Hydroliners. This is the Sketch Paint palette by Clarisike, and I know it looks a little janky because I'm abusive, but this is what it looks like, and it's a hydroliner, so you just add a couple drops of water and go to town. I've had it for like 7 months and it's amazing. This is what a brand new one would look like, and it comes with a cute little brush and everything, so I highly recommend this. I'm also using these ones by NBA Cosmetics. They come in singles, but like in a pack, and they're amazing as well. I've had them for a really long time. People always ask me why I do my eyes first and then my foundation and the rest of my face, and that's because if I make any mistakes, it'll be easier to clean it up if I don't have the rest of my face done. So that's why I do it. I'm going to go ahead first with this light blue color in the palette, and I put just like 2 drops in there and mix it around. This part takes so much focus because I do have a mirror that I look into, but not for my eyeshadow. I generally use my phone camera, and it's okay if it's messy, but we could like fix that in a second. Next, I'm going to use this pastel orange by NBA Cosmetics. I think orange and blue look really pretty together. I'm going to use the Juno Co Miracle Cream for my primer, and then the I Am Magic Foundation by Juvia's. I use this foundation in like all of my videos, and it's super full coverage. A little bit goes a long way with this foundation. This is my favorite brand of beauty blender. It's really soft and it spreads the product really well, and the price point's really good. See how well that goes on? This actually goes on, it's like a matte, but it's creamy. Look at that coverage though. Another question I'm asked is if I put makeup on my forehead, and yes, I do. It's just that the bang gets in the way a lot, so I just don't usually show it in the videos. I'm going to go in with a Tarte concealer under my eyes, and then the Juvia's foundation stick for my contour. You want your concealer to be a shade or 2 lighter than your foundation, so it does its job of highlighting those areas. I'm going to go ahead and set that with my Wet n Wild setting powder and a fluffy brush. My shirt is reminding me of that song by T-Pain, I'ma buy you a drink, because he says Sade in it, and I found out something that kind of crushed my world. You know the part where he's like, I'ma buy you a drink, and this whole time I thought he said ooh-wee. It turns out it's not ooh-wee. It's not ooh-wee. This whole time I've been saying ooh-wee. He tweeted and said it's actually and then I went and looked at the lyrics, and it confirmed it. And now when I hear that song, all I can think about is how it's not ooh-wee. And that kind of broke my heart. Like, am I the only one who found out about that and is kind of still upset about it? I'm still gonna say ooh-wee though. I'm still saying ooh-wee, but a lot of times when I contour my nose, what happens is like it ends up looking too dark, and if that happens, what you can do once you blend it out really well is go ahead and add some setting powder on top of it, and it'll mute the color. I also like to make that little bridge right here because it gives me like that button nose appearance. And I did add a little bit of concealer, so now I'm just going to blend it out with my spine. I don't know about y'all, but I love some dramatic ass lashes. So when it comes to lashes, I don't put them on like this, because it doesn't really fan them out and really show how pretty they are. What you want to do is you want to go from a higher angle and bring them down, and then it'll show how pretty the lashes are, and it'll look a lot better on your eyes. I put on my glue, and while it dries, I'm going to put on some mascara, but you want this basically to look almost dry, and then you're just going to plop them on. That's like the easiest way. If you put them on while they're wet, they're going to move around a lot, and it'll be harder for you to adjust them. I used the duo glue and I went ahead and put a generous amount on. Now I'm just waiting for it to get tacky. This color is going to turn black, so it's going to get into like a dark gray, and that's when I'm going to pop them on. I'm just going to go from a higher angle and bring it down. Ta-da! I'm going to use this orange shade in my 3503 Morphe palette for blush. I love the little pastel liners and color liners by LA Girl, and they're only like $2.99 a piece, so they really make any look pop. I'm going to just put this on my waterline. Use my KVD Alchemist palette, and I'm going to take this pink highlight and just put it on the tip of my nose. I also like to highlight right here, right here, right here, and right here on the bridge. I'm also going to take this light orange color from the Jaclyn Hill Volume 2 palette and put it under my eye. Put it under my eye. I'm going to go with LA Girl's chocolate lip liner and line my lips. Some people get mad that I overline a little bit, especially like my Cupid's bow area. But how else am I supposed to have big luscious lips? I don't got lip filler money. I'm a broke college student. And I like to fill in the sides with the darker color. It makes it easier to blend out when I put the lighter color in the middle. And it's all about shadowing and the illusion. My lips aren't that big, but I make them look bigger. I'm going to use this light orange matte lipstick by Lumi Cosmetics. I'm not sure, but I think they went out of business. So I swiped a couple of these on sale. And then I'll just use my finger and like blend it out. So this is what it looks like matte, but I think I want to add some gloss, and this is the number 4 Flowers in Our Hair by Sephora. Let me know in the comments if you like it better like this matte or after I add the gloss. Okay, this is the final look. She's looking real cute with nowhere to go. Alright y'all, what do we think of this look? Do we like it? I think it came together really well. A lot of times when I do my looks, in the middle of it, I'm like, gosh, this looks terrible, they're not gonna like it. But then by the end, it looks good. So trust the process, trust the process. Look how pretty the eyes look. I really love these hydroliners. The color pops so well too. I think the light is washing it out, but the color really pops. And I think the gloss was a good choice. It's popping. I don't know. So across all my videos, people always ask me to do a middle part. And this time I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna show y'all what I look like with the middle part. This is what y'all want me to go out looking like? Are we friends? I thought we were friends. What is this? This is a middle part. I know, look. I've done this hairstyle. That looks kind of cute, but this just ain't it. Today we learned that G looks terrible with the middle part. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna chill with the bang. It looks cute. I like this hairstyle, so I'm gonna keep it. A while ago on my Instagram Q&A, a lot of you asked for tutorials, and I'm trying to do that, but would you rather have me do what I'm doing now where I'm sitting and talking to you and doing my makeup, or if I just did my makeup and did a voiceover? Just because I feel like I'll be yapping a little too much sometimes, and I don't want to bore y'all. Let me know if there's any questions or anything you have in the comments, and I'll get back to y'all. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye!
Storytime about the most outrageous thing I saw working as a waitress. A guy came in with his date one night, and throughout the evening, he was the picture of courtesy and good manners. I appreciated it, but didn't delude myself that I was the source and figured he was just in a good mood because the date was going well. He was certainly in a celebratory mood because he was sparing no expense. He asked for our highest quality wine, she got our most expensive entree, and he even ordered one of every appetizer for her to sample when she made a remark that she was having trouble deciding. It was a real feast. So the evening starts wrapping up and I get their check. I asked if they'd be paying together or separate, and she starts to say separate, but he makes a big deal of saying, "Oh, are you kidding me? Together, definitely together. You never have to pay when you're with me, babe." Then he slides me his card. I get everything sorted and bring out the receipt. It's almost a $300 bill. He doesn't even blink and makes a big show of leaving a $100 tip. He thanks me for my service and emphasizes what a lovely night they've had. A tip that size is exceptional, so I thanked him profusely. He said there's no need and goes on to say how underappreciated waitstaff are and says, "Don't plan to tip, don't eat out, you know?" Looking at the mesmerized girl the whole time and not giving me a glance. After that, he helps her into her coat and they go off. However, not even a few minutes later, he comes back and what he says leaves me speechless. Part 2 of the most outrageous thing I saw while working as a waitress. So about 90 seconds later, he's back in the door without her, going, I think I left my... Then when the door shut and looking to make sure she was out of earshot, he goes, without the slightest shade of shame or embarrassment, mark the tip down to $20, hun. I was just playing it up for my date. You understand. Then turns to leave. I understood, but not how he hoped I would. However, I couldn't make a scene in the middle of work. That's not my place, so I just said one more time in order to give his conscience a chance to sink in. Okay, sir, you'd like to amend your tip from $100 to $20, is that correct? Even though I didn't show any displeasure in my voice, he shot back extremely hostile. Yes, and if I see a cent over 20 on there, I'm going to dispute the whole meal with my credit vendor, so don't try to pull anything. The most frustrating part of this for me was not even going from over a 30% tip to a 10% tip, but rather that this poor girl was being strung along with no idea of who this guy was behind her back. It was extremely manipulative of him, which is a major red flag. I really wanted to show that girl the trick he just pulled, but I was at work and it wasn't my place. However, just in time, something occurred to me and I darted outside hoping to catch him in the parking lot. Part 3 of the most outrageous thing I saw while working as a waitress. I got lucky because he parked on the street and he was dealing with the parking meter. I flagged him down and ran across the street, nearly stumbling into traffic in my haste for this delicious moment. His date was already in the car but rolled her window down since no one expects the waitress to follow you to your car waving her arms like a crazy person. I made it across and said more than loudly enough for her to hear, Sir, we amended your tip from $100 down to $20 as you requested, but you'll need to fill out a different receipt reflecting your new total for our records. This is just a bookkeeping regulation that goes way above me. It has nothing to do with you retroactively downgrading your tip from $100 to $20. We're just glad you enjoyed your evening. His jaw was on the floor. He tried to pretend like he didn't know what I was talking about, giving me some line about how I must be after someone else since he only came back because he forgot his keys. However, I wouldn't let it rest. The more he played dumb, the more I repeated versions of, you wanted me to change your tip from $100 to $20, you came back in, and so on. He finally went, okay, whatever, sorry for the miscommunication. If you need me to fill out a new receipt, I can. I'm guessing he didn't have the money in his account because he signed the new receipt. His girlfriend was visibly shocked and he was staring daggers through me. You could feel the rage emanating off of him. Then they drove off. Hopefully he'll never do that again. Story time about how I accidentally discovered an online shrine of myself. When I was 18, I attended university and lived on campus. I made a few groups of friends to hang out with, including a new girlfriend. There was one class before lunch where it was traditional for people to go to the cafeteria afterwards to eat in pairs or threes. One girl named Lily asked me if I wanted to eat lunch with her after class and I agreed. Over the next few weeks, this started becoming a pattern and I didn't exactly know how to say no. One day in that same class, someone asked if I could add them on social media. This happened in front of Lily and I saw her face jerk towards me from a couple seats over. It was such a sharp reaction that it was hard to ignore. Later that day, I saw that Lily had sent me a friend request. We had no friends in common and I had no clue how she knew my last name, but I accepted it. She'd message me constantly and comment on anything I posted. Other than lunch, after class, and social media, we barely spent time together in person. She also made it clear that she didn't like my girlfriend, who was also coincidentally named Lily. She'd always make remarks about how she's the better Lily. On the last day of class, she asked me to go for a walk in the woods afterwards for lunch. While we were out there sitting on a log, she kissed me without warning. I got out of there as fast as I could and I was happy I wouldn't see her for a while. However, she kept messaging me. Part 2 of how I accidentally discovered an online shrine of myself. Over the summer, I broke up with my girlfriend. When I came back to university, I started dating a boy. Lily wasn't pleased to hear this news. At this time, I was fairly active on Tumblr. When I was scrolling one day, I noticed something odd on a blog I followed. I saw someone receive an ask with phrases that I recognized. I realized it was taken from my About page. This made me freeze. The person was asking this random person to analyze a section of text from my page, asking for their opinion on what type of person would write it. I went to the person's blog and I was shaken to my core. I could tell it was Lily's even though it didn't have her name or pictures on it. The content was primarily about me. There were accounts of things I'd recently done, references to things as far back as I'd known her, and basically twisted every platonic encounter we had to a romanticized version. She had gathered every scrap of information about me online and offline and posted it on this blog like a diary. There were also numerous posts attacking my boyfriend. She made up a whole fantasy world with all this information. However, it gets worse. Lily had an audience. She asked open questions about me and our relationship. Her followers were invested in this fake fanfiction version of my life. After seeing all this, I confronted Lily. Part 3 of how I accidentally discovered an online shrine of myself. I sent Lily a message confronting her about the blog. She said nothing. She didn't even address it, just changed the subject even after I pushed for answers. After this, she deleted the page or changed the name because I never found it again. I wasn't going to hang out with her anymore, but we still had classes and I was afraid of what she'd do next. She made sure to stay in my life the whole time I was at university. There was a time I pulled away from her and she started rumors about me and damaged a career opportunity I put a lot of work into. I let her stay in my life, but just ignored her. After graduation, Lily wanted me to spend time with her, but I made excuses. I made excuses all the time myself and so online somewhere that she shouldn't have known about. The last conversation we had is when she messaged me out of the blue after